Do you have a trigger? I mean, like on a gun, if somebody were to pull this or press this or touch this, it would set something off in you, and you would feel the need for fight or flight if somebody pulled that trigger. You go quiet, you withdraw, or you outburst, or whatever it is in your way. Do you have a trigger? Well, I did. And today I'm going to tell you a story of how God delivered me from this one trigger and how He can set you free too. Hey, and welcome to Craig Walker Coaching. My name is Craig Walker, and I help people break free from the paralysis of self-doubt. And I got to tell you, there was a time in my life when I lived with self-doubt. And honestly, if you triggered my self-doubt, if you triggered that sense of not enough and you embarrassed me, it wouldn't go well for you. I would retaliate and sometimes in an explosive way. And it's embarrassing to admit, but it's true. I have done that over and over and over throughout my lifetime. Well, let me tell you, I know that I mentioned in my last video that something happened to me that tested me, that, wow, it just gave me a sense of gratefulness, a sense of thankfulness to God for how He has delivered me and the person that He's now really making me to be. I'm excited about it. So I want to tell you that story today. And it's a story about when I was driving to another town near me. I live in a small town, and there's a highway that connects us. I'm driving down highway, I think it's 429. I'm driving along, and it's a big wide highway with an emergency shoulder on the right and on the left. And in the right hand, I look up ahead, and there's a guy jogging towards me on my right in the emergency shoulder. And I see him over there, and I'm just coming toward him, about to pass him. And then he starts moving out towards the white line on the edge of the road and waves his hand. He's just throwing his hands up. And I thought, uh-oh, something's wrong. And so innocently, I put on the brakes and I backed up and said, hey, you okay? Something wrong. And then he yells at me, get on the other side of the road. Get on the other side of the road. And I thought, what in the world? And I realized he's jogging. He's mad at me because I didn't pull over, and because he's jogging in the emergency lane. And there was plenty of room. There was no danger there at all. And then he just said, can't you see I'm jogging? And I just said, I'm sorry. I thought something was wrong. That's why I came back. And then he just looked at me and muttered, you a-hole. And as soon as he said that, I thought, are you kidding me? And I cared about this guy? And then he just took off and went on jogging. And I just started down the road and didn't, I did think about it for a little bit. That's going to capture your attention. It really does. But what captured my attention the most is that I wasn't angry. I didn't feel any sense to get out of the car and retaliate. And I would have. There was a time when I really would have. Whether I would have beat him up or he'd have beat me up, we would have been in a fight. There's no doubt about it. And I promise you, it's not because I'm old and small now that I didn't do it. That has nothing to do with it. Size never mattered to me. The only thing that kept me from retaliating is the fact that I just have a sense of who I am in Christ. And it's not that Christians don't retaliate. That wasn't my thought. My thought was, I'm just so accepted and so loved by God. His goodness is so good to me that I just have no need to respond to this man at all. Later that day, I wish I had thought of it right then. I didn't, but later that day, I had another thought, and you know what it was? It was a thought to pray for that guy. I don't know what he's going through. I don't know anything about his life at all. I don't know his wife, if he's married, his children, his family life, his work life, his health. I know nothing at all. All I know is that I got talked to terribly by him, and I realized this man, it probably needs Jesus, and certainly he needs something in his heart to give him peace, to not respond the way he did. And I just prayed for him. I said, God, bless this man. Something's in his life that is troubling him. Same kind of thing. It could have been troubling me years ago, but Lord, deliver this man. May he come to know you. And I pray that today. And I pray that now that you've heard this story, that you will pray for him. You will, one, give thanks for how God has delivered me. Two, you will pray for him that God will save this guy, or if he is saved, then convict him and help him see what's going on in his soul so that he can have the peace that surpasses all comprehension. And then three, here's the third thing I want to ask you to do. If you hear this story and think, gosh, there's something in me that needs change, there's something in me that needs peace, there's something in me that needs set free, then I pray that you will reach out to me, because what God taught me years ago has now become a 4-step program that I can break down in a unique way, in ways, I don't have the only way of teaching freedom from a poor self-image, but I think I have a really good way. And if you think that I can help you, reach out to me with an email, because this is just what I do, and this is what I give my life to. This is what I wake up every morning thinking about. Even when I'm building my house and working in the evenings, I'm thinking about how to help you live that life of freedom, to know the joy that God gives for people that just fully lean into him. Reach out to me at Craig Walker Coaching. Thanks again for checking in, and I'll see you soon. Until then, may God help you to live the life that you were born to love.